Hi, welcome to Carousel. And I'd like you to re-meet Jack Cohen. Jack has told part of his story on last week's program, but this continuation will still be a program that'll be complete in itself. But Jack has a fascinating story to tell, and let's review a little bit about well, let's start with you have all right. You have a picture. You have a book. Tell about your memory. Here we are.
A few years ago, I decided to take a course at the Long Life Learners at the Norwalk Community College in memoir writing, and I've been writing ever since. And I wrote this book, A Personal Journey.
Right. And what did they encourage you to tell your story, your words? We were talking about this just before we went on the air, that it's a little like the movie Rashomon. Your version of the story and your brother's version of the story, even though they're the same story, will very likely be, they'd be very different because of different aspects of for one thing, there's places where you're separated in life.
We were separated often, actually.
But even if you weren't, if you grew up in the same house, your stories would be different. Yeah. So, but we go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you before you had a chance to
I was just saying that my brother and I have been separated many times during the war.
Where's he now?
And after the war. Beg your pardon?
Where is he now?
He died a few years ago.
Sorry about that.
He died when he was 68.
Oh. Was he in this country?
Yes, he was in this country.
Yeah. The reason I was asking that is because a lot of your life, your father died in
my father died in 1946 in England, and he was 48.
Okay.
And my mother died 2 years after that at 50.
Was she in this country?
My mother died in England.
Oh, she did? Okay.
They both died in England.
Oh, okay. But the reason I knew that, we'll go back up a little bit and tell about how they came to this country and then how you went to Europe.
As we said in the first week, they were born on the same street in Liverpool in 1898. They were sweethearts from birth and sweethearts till death.
Yeah, that's good. That's wonderful. Well, it's not wonderful that they died, but at least it was.
Yeah, it's a long story.
Yeah, but the gist of it is that you were born in this country.
That's correct. I was born in the Bronx, New York, 1928.
And then recap your from the time you went to Europe.
Yeah, I was born in 1928, and in 1937, my mother decided that we'd go on a vacation to England. My father followed, and the war broke out, and we got trapped in England, and I went through the Second World War in Liverpool. I was evacuated twice to North Wales. And in 1946, I got seamanship papers.
Well, there's a picture of your house that we would like to see. It'll take a few minutes. Well, there it is. Now this is where you lived, but it's obviously not where you lived at the moment when the picture was taken.
No, what happened is just a picture of the bombed house.
Yeah.
In the May Blitz, May the 1st, the Germans came over and started the 7 Nights of Hell.
38?
In 1941.
Oh, 41. Okay.
And the May Blitz, and we were living in this house, and the house got hit by the bomb.
Boy, that's
and
wonder
this is what
you
the house
survived.
looked like afterwards. And we were, my mother and my brother and I were under the stairs, and my mother dug us out.
Huh.
And we had scratches and bruises, but we were in one piece.
That must have been. Is your memory somewhat blocked out, or do you remember that night as if it were last night?
Well, I do remember it very, very, very vividly. And what happened is that I heard the bomb come down, and it was a screech bomb. They make a lot of noise to terrorize the neighborhood. And there's a saying goes that if you don't hear it, it's for you. If you hear it, it's not for you. And I remember a big bang. Actually, I didn't remember the bang at first. What happened is I woke up, and my nose was bleeding from the concussion.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember my mother shouting and digging us out. And then I remembered the big bang. And that's about all you can remember, actually. It's such a split second of your life.
Well, right.
And it's no time to be terrorized.
Well, you were asleep when it happened, were you?
No, I was just sitting under the stairs. Actually, I was playing I was playing cribbage with my brother.
Oh.
Because there were two games that we played in the air raid shelters. One was cribbage and one was chess.
Oh.
Because they were long playing games and they kept our mind off the
Those are pretty good games for your age.
off the air raids. Well, that's what we played. You know,
Yeah.
that was the games of the time. There was no television.
Yeah. No, but I was thinking when I was in service later, we were playing such educational games as Slap and and Crazy Eight.
Well,
and things like
we lived in two different worlds, actually.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
I lived in a world torn by terror.
Yeah.
But there was 7 nights. 7 nights they bombed Liverpool, and I remember getting up one morning, and we lived on we lived in the high ground, and I could see right down to the docks, which was several miles, just fires and everything burnt out and collapsed buildings, and there was 17,000 people homeless.
You were telling one of the things we were talking about when we were off camera was that one of the ships, the ammunition ships in Liverpool, blew up. Was that when you were living there? Or was
Yes,
it
no, that was during the May Blitz.
Okay.
In fact, I think it was the first or second night that the ship blew up, and it was loaded with ammunition.
And it was one of the
and blew a big portion of Liverpool away.
one of the barrage balloons.
Caught fire,
Yeah.
and the ship
dropped onto the.
and the ship exploded. The barrage balloon was supposed to protect the ship,
Yeah.
but in this case it didn't, and the
Yeah,
ship blew up.
because I say that one incident probably did more damage. That one hit by Germans did more
Did a lot of
than
damage.
anything
yeah.
else that they could have looked for or
Yeah,
hoped
but
for.
if you can imagine 7 nights of being bombed in a full moon,
Oh no.
it's,
I can't
memory
ima-
never leaves you.
Yeah, because I was going to say I have memories of we all have memories of, and most of the things that we can retain best in our memory are usually things that we'd almost rather not retain.
Well, what happens is
Unfortunately.
that you don't remember the bad things, but when you start writing a book, like I started to write the memoirs, a lot of things come back which have been dormant for many, many years, and they just
Oh yeah, it's all right there.
well, it's not fun. I'll tell you that.
But,
It's,
you know,
it keeps you up at night sometimes.
But you know, it must be good. I think it's good therapy though for you to have a memoir writing. I don't necessarily say those specific parts of it, but you also recall a lot of other things.
Well, you tend to remember the good stuff, and you
Yeah.
tend to forget the bad stuff.
Well, we edit. Yeah, we edit our lives. In many cases, we edit them to the point that some of the things we put down aren't necessarily true, because in our minds
That's
we've
true.
gone over so many times, and we'd rather this had happened. And it might be very minor in a way, but still not quite what was. It's like I have memories of movies I saw, and then I see the movie again, like it was a really old movie.
We see it differently.
And I know I see it differently. The people in my mind who were in it weren't in it. Like you think it was a James Cagney movie? Well, it was a James Cagney type of movie, but they had somebody else had in the James Cagney part.
Well,
in a sense.
to stay sane, you forget the bad parts of
Yeah,
your life.
that's right. Yeah.
And if you start thinking about it and writing it, then a lot of things come back.
Well, that's like when they tell
We
you
should rather not remember, actually.
the cliches of life, like this too shall pass, and time heals everything, and
Yeah.
so and the reason that they're cliches is they're true.
That's true.
So, but I didn't mean to digress from your story, but it's all part of it.
Yeah.
But we also have there's another picture of what's the area where they sent you as a child?
North Wales called Flint.
Flint. Okay.
and,
Here we are. And what is this? Is a castle?
This is a castle in Flint.
How old are those castles?
Beg your pardon?
What century were those?
Oh,
Or do you know?
many. It was
Way before our time.
Way before our time, and it was a place where the townies were not allowed to go. The reason for that, there was a lot of quicksand around there.
Oh, it's okay
And-
for you to go there. You'll disappear into quicksand.
Well, yeah. What happened is the townies and the Liverpudlians, as we were called, could not get together. Really, they were never friends, and so they weren't allowed to go there. So we would go there, and we play nights at the round table and stuff like that. And I was young those days.
No, I think it's right. Well, I think that sounds great.
But what we used to do, though, was not nice. We would go out at night and go to the North Tower, and we'd watch the German bombers coming up the River Dee to bomb Liverpool.
Oh.
So actually watching
Well,
our mothers and fathers going through
Yeah, but it's
going
not a
through
question of being not nice.
disaster.
It may not have been the most sensible thing to do, because you're dangerous in a way, because who knows where those bombs are going to land. for
Well,
one
you're
thing.
drawn to do this.
Oh yeah.
There is no.
Well, you want to see what's going on.
That's great. You're curious.
Yeah, because if you, and especially if they tell you not to do something, that's what first thing you're going to want to do.
And the biggest thing is when they shoot one down, then
Yeah.
everybody jump up and down. Oh boy, we hit one. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But my father was an anti-aircraft gunner, so every time one got shot down, I'd say, "Oh, there goes my dad. You know,
Yeah.
he did a good job tonight."
Right. So, when all right? What happened after? On with your memoirs.
Well, after that, of course, evacuated twice. Things calmed down, and then I got on a ship and I got back to America, and after a while, I got drafted into the American Army. So I went from the Merchant Marine to the American Army, and I was then.
Oh, here you are. Where are we in this picture?
This picture here is the Sibley Park, is the ship I worked on to get to New York.
This is before you were in service. I mean, this is Merchant Marine.
Yeah, this is in 1946.
How big? Oh, that's a pretty big ship.
About 440 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was a freight boat.
Yeah.
And they had a gigantic storm, and fortunately I didn't get drowned, and I finally got to New York. And then I stayed with an uncle of mine for a while, and then actually I went to Stanford for a while. I had relatives in Stanford. I came here for a while, and was good. They got drafted into the American Army.
Huh.
I got a thing in the mail one day, said, "Congratulations and salutations, you're now a member of the U.S. Army." So that was another adventure.
Oh, there you are. Where are you in that ship?
That's actually in North Korea,
Okay.
somewhere in North Korea. And that's me as they call him dog face. That was me as an infantryman.
Well, you won the war.
I don't know we ever won the war. It's
Well,
still
that's
on.
true.
The
That's
war's
true.
still
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You know, it's going on forever.
Yeah.
And
At least my war had an ending.
your war hadn't ended.
Yeah. No, my war did end.
And many stories to be told about the Korean War. And
Yeah.
I have some of the stories in my book.
Well, how long were you? Well, you were in. As a matter of fact, we were looking before we went on. You were showing me the maps, the Pork Chop Hill and
Yeah,
T-Bone.
well, what happened was that first I was sent to, it was an outfit called the 45th Infantry Division, and I was in the 279th Regimental Combat Team as a recon scout. A recon scout is somebody who goes out and scouts around and try to find things.
and hopes to get back.
Well, yeah, you hope to get back. Being short helps, though. And one of my advantages, I was
Never
short.
thought about that. Yeah.
And you know, you can jump into a smaller hole if you have to. But one day it was pretty quiet, and they had a suspicion that the Chinese were bringing in tanks. It was called a T-34, and so I had a mission to go out and see if we could actually find.
Is that
one.
the tank?
That's the tank, T-34, and the mission was to go find one. And I had a friend that his name is Harvey. He was the point man. Point man goes out first, and my position was always at the tail end of the column. And we did find the tank. And
Did the tank find you?
no, what happened is that we found one tank, and it had been hit, and one of the threads were off. It was just sitting there, and there was nobody around.
Okay.
And so we decided that we'd just take pictures and get out of there. And on the way back, we got ambushed.
Huh.
And there's a river called I just lost the name of the river, the Imjin River, and we got trapped on the far side in no man's land, and we got pinned down and waited till it got dark, and then we crossed the river. Unfortunately, I slipped and fell in the river, and Harvey, the point man, came after me, picked me up, and got me to the other side.
Were you wounded or just?
No, just slipped in the muddy,
Okay,
in the slippery river.
Yeah.
And at that point, you don't know what to do, you know. So instinct takes over,
Right.
and hopefully I wouldn't get shot. But
Okay.
we finally got back to the.
You knew
back to
enough
our
about where you
lives.
were to get back to where you.
Beg your pardon?
You knew enough about where you were, so you got back to where you should be. Yeah.
Well, you know, you're
Good.
trained.
Yeah, but
So-
in those, I can see though, in being in that territory, even though you go out trying to come back, it must all look just alike, like here or here.
What happens is you become a team. You
Yeah.
got 9 men. You become a team. Everybody's dependent on everybody else.
Right, right.
And you have cover fire and stuff like that. But,
Huh.
and there was another story. We had to go out and try to capture somebody. We wanted to know just who we were fighting with, and we went out on patrol that evening, and we set up a trap to catch somebody.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that is that Harvey Hahn, my friend, who was a point man, had a mailbox out in no man's land where he'd leave a letter and he'd get answered. So we decided that'd be a perfect place to get an ambush to find the guy that was writing to Harvey. So we made the ambush and we finally captured this. And finally, after much to do, got him back to our lines. And during interrogation, they found that he was a Harvard graduate.
Oh.
And how we found that out was that he, of course, wouldn't speak any English. And I have an interesting picture of him with a Native American holding a rifle guarding him. There's an interesting picture which I haven't got printed yet. But
he pretended not to speak
yeah,
English. I mean,
and
he
what
obviously
happened
could.
when it was finally, when S2, which is G2, which is Army Intelligence,
Right.
came to pick him up, he turned to our commander and he said, "Can I have my wallet, please?" And then he was perfect English. And then
Yeah.
we discovered that he was a Harvard graduate, and he was with the famed 80th Volunteer Chinese Army.
Oh.
And the 80th did not take prisoners. In fact, there's a book out called the Coldest Winter.
Yeah.
It's about the Chosin Reservoir, where there was 200,000 Americans, 20,000 Americans, and 200,000 Chinese overtook the positions in 24 below zero,
Oh, wow.
and we lost a lot of men.
Oh, yeah. Huh. What, how long were you in?
I was 9 months in combat.
Okay.
Very fortunate, never got a scratch.
Yeah, from that, because you were right
well,
in there.
you're talking about fate, you know.
Yeah, you've had a fate-filled life, and you've had somebody on your side.
Well, Harvey actually got wounded 3 times standing next to me.
Huh.
So he was my protector. But
Yeah.
but I think the big protector was there was a family in Stanford, that a Catholic family that I knew, and the mother lit a candle for me every Sunday.
Wow.
So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know.
No, you know the thing about faith is you got to have it, and you may have one as your central one, but don't ignore the rest of them.
Well, up until I met Mimi, I was, I didn't know what a normal life was. You know.
Yeah, but you were still being pretty well faithfully guarded from what you've told.
Yeah, but just before I met her, I was going to go back to sea, and I'm sure I would never have got to 80 if I'd gone back to sea. I'd probably been dead in some
Well,
foreign
you don't know.
port somewhere.
I mean, it's part of the Rashomon again, but you just have a different memoir. You had somebody guiding you. You lucked out, and this time around you did very well. So
Well, I think my longevity was being short.
well, I'm getting
Nothing
shorter.
nothing against tall people, but I think my longevity is being short.
Well, there's. I used to. On my driver's license it says I'm 6 feet. Well, I recently went back, and you go for years without being measured, and I was 5'8". I thought, what happened?
Well, I shrank a lot.
But it's amazing. And then you think, you have no control over this in the first place. And yet everybody seems to think that it's like if the guy that's, well, fortunately for the guys who play basketball, they did grow to be 7 feet or whatever it is. But you'd think it was something they had control over. And it's not. It just happens. Mm. And then when I went from 6 to 5'8", I thought, well, now I know what it feels like to be 5'8". So
well, I found out what to be 5'2".
But you notice, I noticed that all my friends were getting a lot taller.
Yeah.
And that for a while I couldn't quite understand. Then I realized that here's fate again. It doesn't really matter.
No. Well,
I mean, it helps in some cases, as you say.
But the story goes on and on and on, and there's many more chapters to be written. I've started the second book. The second book is going to be about my individual members of my family.
Yeah.
I had people that were in small ships to evacuate the British at Dunkirk. Stories about that. I have an uncle that was awarded the Victoria Cross in the First World War, and never got it because he was Jewish. They never.
Is that right?
They never awarded him and he got the second highest award.
Why would they say you can have it and then say you can't have it?
Well, that's the way life is.
Now, why am I asking?
I have no answer to
yeah,
that.
That's logic. Logic has nothing to do with life.
And what he did, a shell came in and hit the command post, and the shell didn't go off.
Huh.
And he decided, it's my father's brother, and he decided that he'd go in and disarm the bomb.
Oh.
And he did it with his feet. And the reason why he did it with his feet is he didn't want to lose his hands. And in the Jewish school in Liverpool, which is not there anymore, there was a big bronze plaque showing what the heroic deed that he had done.
It's fantastic that he knew how to do it.
Well, it's
He
one
did,
of these
so
things. There are many stories about him.
You mentioned, do you know much about your ancestors prior to your mother and father and uncles and aunts and so on?
Yes,
I mean, are they in the memoir too?
Yeah, well, my both grandmothers lost their husbands at a very early age.
Uh-huh.
And they had several children, 7 or 8 children apiece. And my father's father was an interpreter for the Cunard White Star. At that time, it's called the White Star.
Uh-huh.
He spoke dialects of Chinese, and at that time, they hired a lot of Chinese on the boats. And he was an interpreter for the.
How did he get to know Chinese?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Actually, he came from Russia.
Oh. Yeah.
And his father was a whaler out of Minsk.
Oh.
And my mother's side, they came from Vilna in Poland.
Wow.
And they both died at a very early age, long before they had the children, and the two grandfathers died.
Everybody died at early ages, I think. Not everybody, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
it's amazing, though.
Well, my father's mother had a boarding house for sailors, and she died way into her 90s, supported herself all that time from the boarding house. And I had many happy hours during the boarding house with the sailors.
Huh. Wow. But what happened when you were you married when you went to
No,
Korea?
I got married in 1954.
Oh, okay.
I'd come home by then from the Army, and I was going back to sea, I decided. And when I met my wife, that was another story. Life completely changed. Went 180 degrees.
How did you meet?
Interesting thing, I was living with a friend of mine named Stanley Needle in his mother's house. And there was a Jewish center in Stamford, and he says, let's go to the Jewish center and meet some girls. And I said, can't be bothered. I didn't want to go. He dragged me down there, and 2 days later I proposed to her.
Oh, wow.
I say 1, she says 2. And 3 months later we were married. 54 years ago.
Oh, that's...
And we're still happy. We're friends and lovers.
No, I think...
Age takes its toll, but we're still friends and lovers.
Oh.
I hear her laughing in the background there.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to stay out of this.
So you stay out of it?
No, I think that's wonderful, though.
I have two. I have a boy and a girl. The girl's 52, the boy's 50. They both have 2 grandchildren.
Don't you have twins?
I got no. My daughter has 2. A boy. I'm getting confused there. My daughter has a boy and a girl. They're both graduates, college graduates. My son has 2 boys. He has a wife named Ruth. His name is Alex, and my daughter's name is Jody.
Oh, because I thought you were talking about twins somewhere along the line.
No, I don't have any. Actually, my grandmother on my mother's side, my mother's mother was a twin. That's how I got to come to Stanford.
Okay.
When I was young, because after I come to New York, I went to Stanford because my relatives was my mother's twin.
Well,
or my grandmother's twin.
You know, it's funny you don't have twins in the family, so maybe it doesn't because they're the male.
Well, maybe it'll happen.
Yeah. Well,
I'll never know about it. I'll never know about it. But it'll probably happen sooner or later.
No, I was going to ask you something about. Oh, you mentioned you were going to go to Canada, and was that.
Yeah, what happened after the May Blitz? The family, my mother decided to send my brother and I to Canada to relatives to get out of war-torn England,
Well,
because they were shipping a lot
Well,
of kids
who
out.
was in Canada?
My mother's relatives.
Okay, because
My mother's family had gone to Canada long before the Second World War.
okay,
And from Canada, I was going to go down to my father's brother in New York. But I never got to Canada because we were slated to go on a ship called the Barnez. And my mother last minute decided that, no, we're not going to go. If we're going to die, we'll die as a family, live or die as a family. And the ship got torpedoed. And of 90 children that were boarded the ship,
Yeah,
only
yeah.
13 survived.
Yeah, that is amazing.
And the unfortunate thing about it is my birth was given to 2 other children that never made it.
Yeah. Well, do you stay in? Are you still in contact with your parents' relatives?
I don't have many relatives left.
Well, that's one of the
great
benefits.
matriarch died a few years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, but
But I
they,
have-
from them, aren't there other cousins
Yeah, well,
and so on?
a lot of them died during the war.
Okay.
Sailors, and I have 2 cousins that I'm in contact with. But that's about it.
No, but it's sort of fascinating. I'm now at the point where, like, I still have nephews and one niece and 1 or 2 cousins that I know about, and I'm really kind of sorry I'm not more in contact with them than I am. But that's one of the hazards of, like, I don't really like to travel that much anymore, just because of the time. Just well, I don't mind traveling, but traveling is no longer much fun.
What I think is that the Second World War took its toll on my relatives. They were all sailors, and I think the toll. There was one named Louis who was on a trip from Liverpool to Minsk. Incidentally, it was on a ship that got a German dive bomber dropped a bomb right down the funnel.
Oh, great!
And he was overboard and ended up in a Russian hospital.
So it's this was our first chapter of this. The half hour went very fast.
Yeah.
This half hour has also gone very fast.
Oh, it's gone already?
Yes, I'm afraid.
You have to read the book.
Yes. Well, yeah. No, as a matter of fact, I look forward to it, because I think
send you a
well,
copy.
thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Because it's extremely. I love hearing other people's lives, and I meant it when I said before about, everybody's got a novel in them, and it's wonderful that you actually are putting it down.
Yes,
I'm putting it down on paper so that.
Well, it's been 2 years.
Yeah. Well,
2 years of writing
but it was
and editing.
well spent.
Thank you.
Okay.